All right, guys. So I got this comment and I just want to go over this concept so everyone understands what this is. This is very entry level to crypto, but you certainly should know this if you're investing into meme coins when it comes to the market cap versus the supply and all the ins and outs of it. It's very easy, but just this is something that a lot of people new to crypto do not understand. So recently, I think it was yesterday, I showed this coin, which I found intriguing. It's called the original Pepe, and it has a very low total supply of around 37,000 coins. You can see all of them are circulated. You can see the max supply in this is infinity, which you would think is bad. I'm going to discuss the max supply being infinity and what you should do about that later, but that's normally an older contract. Same thing that Dogecoin has, same thing that Ethereum has. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Pretty much all new coins that get launched, the meme coins, they will not have a supply that's unlimited. But it doesn't technically mean the coin is unlimited. But the point is, you can see the circulating supply of this coin is 37,000. It's the exact same as the total supply. You can see it is a 1-for-1 in terms of the total supply versus the circulating supply. And same thing with the max supply. But it does say that the max supply in this is unlimited. That again, that's because it's an older contract. But when you look at a coin like this, you see the price of it is $7.58. You compare that to another Pepe. This is the main Pepe. The price of it is 1/1000th or 100,000th of a cent. So you would think, oh my goodness, it's so much easier to make a huge multiple on Pepe. Imagine if Pepe went to a cent. Imagine if it went to 10 cents. Look, this coin is so overpriced compared to Pepe. It's all irrelevant. Look at the total supply, around 37,000 coins. The total supply of Pepe, 420 trillion or whatever the number is. So obviously, if a coin has a significantly higher total supply and max supply, which should be the same thing, they should mimic each other, the coin, its overall price, because there's so many more coins in circulation, will be way lower. What you need to look at is the market cap. This coin has a market cap of $5.8 billion. Do you think it has any chance of 100xing with a market cap of $5.8 billion being a meme coin? No. You look at this coin, it has a market cap of 282K. It's got a much higher chance of 100xing. Not saying it's a good investment. I'm just saying this is the comparison. And this relates back to the message that I got. This person says, bro, I hear you, but let's be honest. There's no real money to be made here, especially at that price. He's referencing the price. The price is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Well, I shouldn't say it's completely irrelevant, but it's based on supply. So he's referencing the price. At the end of the day, all meme millionaires and billionaires share all the same story. They threw money at a meme coin priced something at, it's just not true at all. SPX was at 0.2 of a cent. It wasn't at 1/1,000,000th of a cent. This person, they just don't understand the concept. So, and it's a very simple concept. What it is it's based off, what you need to look at is the market cap. It's also important to make sure that all the coins are in circulation, right? You can see all the coins are in circulation here. Pretty much every single meme coin should have all coins in circulation. And then here's a comparison for SPX. Most coins now, most of the meme coins, you will see have a total supply of 1 billion, mainly because that's just the stock to meme total supply that they went with. Also, it's the pump fund total supply on coins that are launched there, and you can't really change the supply. Not in every case, but in most cases. You can see with this coin, it has a 1 billion total supply. So hypothetically, if the coin was at $1, it would be at 1 billion in terms of market cap. Why? Or no, excuse me, that's the max supply. The total supply is only 930 million. Why would that be lower? Because they burned 70 million. So that's why that's lower. You can see the max supply is 1 billion. The total circulating supply is 930 million. Or it's the total max supply and circulating supply are 930 million, which obviously you want them to be the same. You want the same number here as here, because you don't want more coins dumped into circulation. Then people could just sell them like a vesting schedule. You shouldn't see a vesting schedule for a meme coin. This coin right here, this is Donald Trump's official coin. It does have a vesting schedule. The way you can see that is you can see the max supply and total supply are obviously the same, but the circulating supply is only around 1/5 of the total supply. That's why the valuations are different. You can see the market cap, the current market cap is around 2.1 billion, but the fully diluted market cap is over $10 billion. Any coin that's like this, that's a meme coin, it's not worth investing into. There should be no vesting schedule involved in meme coins. That's a utility problem. Let them worry about that. we don't need to deal with a vesting schedule, especially for a coin that's multi-billion dollar in market cap already. You already have an extremely limited upside. Now there's going to be coins dumped onto the market that early investors get through a vesting schedule every month or whenever it is. It's a terrible situation. I mean, technically, you can look at the vesting schedule and see how many coins are due to be dumped onto the market, but this is just nuts. I wonder if you can actually see that on this in terms of the actual vesting. Yeah, you look at the tokenomics. So you can see, yeah, this shows you exactly the supply schedule and when the coins are going to be released. So as you can see, at the launch of the project, there was only 200 million coins in circulation. That's 20% of the whole tokens. And then you can see they start being distributed out. And at a certain point, by January of 2028, the entire supply will be fully circulated. But this is just the point. The point is that when you're dealing with a coin like this and you see it says $7.58, and then you see the actual Pepe is at one 200th of a percent or whatever it is, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. This coin is not, it's very, very, very unlikely this coin, I don't know what the exact numbers are. No, it can't reach a cent just because it's already 5 billion. So the whole thing is, well, what if it hits a cent? It's impossible. It's not possible because of the how crazy the total circulating supply is, right? And so that's just, and another coin that I commonly talk about, and I never talk about the price of it because it's irrelevant. You have 4chan right here. So you have this 4chan coin. Look at this. There's 13 zeros in front of this number. Look at the crazy total supply. What if 4chan hits a cent? It's not possible. It's impossible. You should never, especially with a coin like this, you're not looking at the price of it. The price is irrelevant. You're looking at the market cap. Can the coin do 100x from $3 million market cap? That's what you're looking at. So it's important to understand that. And that's really just what I wanted to talk about, because I saw that comment and I was like, I don't know how many people still think this, but the price itself is irrelevant when you look at buying or not buying a coin. Look at the total supply. The total supply of this coin is extremely, extremely small. So the fact that the price is $7.58 for one single coin doesn't mean that the coin is expensive. It's irrelevant because the supply is so low. And again, you'll see this, this is an old contract, so it has the infinity. That doesn't mean there's just going to be more and more coins in circulation. This is just an older contract. Ethereum has the same thing. Dogecoin has the same thing. I do think this contract, it's maybe not a great example. They can change it. But just in general, when you see that, you should never see that with newer coins or any of the meme coins that came out in 2023 or 2024 that are now big. But, you can take a look at MOG coin as well. MOG is another one. It's a higher cap. You look at it, you're like, well, look at it. It's such a low price. No, it's at $645 million. That is a high cap for a meme coin. Now, sure, it could still 20 or 30x, but the price of it being, oh my goodness, there's 5 zeros before the decimal. That's crazy. Imagine it goes to $1. It can't go to the dollar. It's impossible because of the amount of total circulating supply. And there's another one where they burned some of it. You can see the max supply is 420 trillion or whatever that number is. I don't know, is that trillion or billion? I think 420 billion. Yeah, 420 billion. And no, is it trillion? I think it is trillion. And then see, they burned like 30 trillion of it or whatever it is, and now the total supply is lower than the max supply because they burned some, and the circulating supply mimics the total supply. That means there's no issues in terms of vesting. It's a meme coin. You're not going to deal with a vesting schedule. That's why the official Trump coin is so bad, because it has a vesting schedule and the market cap is already at what it's at, 2 billion, it limits the upside of it significantly. And then on top of that, you're dealing with a vesting schedule, basically early investors getting their coins for free and then dumping them onto the market, littering the market with more of the supply being circulated, which lowers the price because there's less demand. So that's really what people need to understand. This is a very simple concept, but people, just make sure. I mean, this is, maybe some people don't know this. I saw that comment, and you want to focus on the price itself is irrelevant. What matters is the market cap, right? We want coins that we always want to get the coin that can go to 1 billion, 2 billion. If you're investing into a coin, you think MOG coin can go to 1 billion? Well, it's not even 2x to get to 1 billion at this point, meaning it's a safer coin, meaning you're probably not going to get as much of an X. Now, sure, if you were buying MOG coin at 4 or 5 million in terms of market cap, there's a much higher chance. That's why everything is addressed in market cap. That's all that matters is market cap, and make sure the supply is fully circulated. That's it. When it comes to meme coins, it's that simple. The actual price of the coin is irrelevant because it's based on the supply, and the supply is chosen by the dev. And so that's just that's just the way it is in terms of how the supply versus market cap versus price dynamic works in crypto and with meme coins. We don't have to worry about the vesting schedules. If you're in utility plays, yeah, there's going to be vesting schedules. There's early investors. I don't do many utility plays. I actually have no utility plays. My entire portfolio 2 years ago was utility. I don't care anymore. It's all memes. Now, there is a one utility coin I like, but it's just like, what am I going to buy it? It's at like $10 million market cap. So I just go in memes now. But that's really what you need to understand. So this comment on what they're saying, and I'm sure other people, well, I don't know, maybe people understand this, but I think most people should understand this. But where is this? I don't even know where this, here it is. But this comment, it's not correct. The comment is not correct. It has nothing. Now, the only argument you can make, well, the real noobish people and the retail might buy coins like this because, oh, it's at zero. But that's already been proven wrong. Look at SPX. SPX is, it's higher in price than MogCoin. Why are people buying SPX if SPX is at $1.80 and MogCoin is at whatever it is? I mean, SPX is higher than Dogecoin. How did SPX do 1,000x? So there's like this whole idea that the supply has to be extremely big so you can attract normies. So they think, ooh, the coin's going to go to a cent and then we're going to make all this money. It's just not true. We've seen other meme coins with supplies that are more limited do very well anyways. Now, you could say it's more rare, but you've still seen it. I think we're going to see more exotic supplies do well. Although most of the supplies I've seen with the meta, it is $1 billion. And it's very easy to calculate the price if you have a total supply of $1 billion, because if the market cap is $1 billion, the price of the coin is $1. Outside of coins being burned. And we know with SPX, they burn 70 million coins. So it's not going to line up like that perfectly. But that is just with MogCoin, you can see, you say, oh, the max supply is different than the total supply. Well, that's because they burned coins. That's why the total supply can never be more than the max supply. It can only be less. And the circulating supply, we want to be the exact same as the total supply. If it's not, that means there's a vesting schedule. And there's going to be more coins added to the circulation, meaning early investors are going to get more coins that they could potentially dump on the market. It's not a positive. And that's why pretty much none of the meme coins you'll see outside of some crazy project like the official Trump. And that's why you should never get in pre-sales and meme coins. Pre-sales are ridiculous. 99 out of 100 pre-sales are a waste of time when it comes to meme coins. And even utility plays, well, depends what you invest into in utility plays, but a lot of the times your money is bogged and it takes 4 or 5 months for the project to come out and it's not worth it. I've had one pre-sale where I hit on it and it did very well, but most of the time the pre-sales are not worth it. Meme coin pre-sales are a joke. I would never do a meme coin pre-sale. So that's just my opinion on all of this. But guys, make sure you like the video down below.